Check the audio. Make sure that it works. Test. Test. Okay, that's it. Test. Yeah, I think it's okay. Test. Okay, that's it. Perfect. That was quick.
Hi, I'd like to report a domestic dispute. Florida license plate, white van. What were they doing? We drove by and the gentleman was slapping the girl. He was slapping her? Yes, and they drove off.
Driver is showing some obscure driving, possibly intoxicated. Currently doing 45 miles an hour. Zone through here is 25. Oh! Subject 6 hit the curb. Place your vehicle in the park and go ahead and turn it off. Turn off your engine. Go ahead and set your keys on the dashboard. Alright? What's your guys' names? Gabby, Brian. Okay. What's going on with your crying?
I was trying to just personally.
The one day we were camping yesterday and camping up stuff, supplies and stuff. I'm sorry.
Oh my god. This is so hard to watch because, like, I watched his interview before and she was clearly hurt all through it. It's really, really, really difficult to watch this. Really hard to watch this interview. And they're gonna put it on the episode 1 right now called "We Bought a Band." We're watching Gabby Petito, the Netflix series. I think it's 3 episodes only. I'm not sure if they're gonna add more, but I'm gonna watch them all 3 tonight, nonstop. And I'm gonna eat whatever. And to begin with, this video that they're about to show, it's heartbreaking. You can find it on YouTube. It's heartbreaking. She's talking to the cops. He talks to the cops, and then she talks to the cops, and she's clearly hurt and affected. Like, everything was right there in front of everyone's eyes before it all happened. I swear. This is such a story.
I was distracted from driving. I'm sorry.
Can I get you to step out of the vehicle for me?
Yeah.
You want to talk about the phone?
So please, I have really bad OCD, and I was just cleaning. I was trying to get back to the before, and I was apologizing to him and saying, I'm sorry that I'm so mean. I'm sorry if I'm in a bad mood. I was getting really stressed. I had so much work. I was doing like a 2 this morning.
She looks so stiff. She looks really stiff. This is so hard to watch, y'all. Like, I've seen this video before when I was researching this whole thing, and a few years back whenever it came out as well. She looked clearly folded up and stiff. You know, someone going through abuse and trauma, narcissistic abuse and trauma, that's how they look like. They look stiff. She's clearly showing those signs. Everything was right there on that video. Like, if I had seen that video, if I was like a relative of hers or something like that, someone close, whoever, I'm not saying, like, I would have literally done whatever I could to get her, to find her, because like, you know how many people actually watched them before it all went down? The places that they went to, the people that stopped them and watched them, like, it's crazy. This could have been stopped. And the way that she's talking, like, she's apologizing, she's taking the blame, saying that she was mean to him. No, she's not. She couldn't have ever even been mean to anyone. Gabby was such an angel. This is crazy.
Just clean my drugs. I travel across the country, and I'm trying to start a blog. I learned how to blog stuff, so I've been building my website. So I've been really stressed, and And I believe that I could do any of it. And he wouldn't let me in the car before. And then
Why wouldn't you let me in the car? Because
told me
you're
told me I need to calm down. Yeah. But I'm perfectly calm. I'm calm all the time.
Why don't we do this? Why don't I sit you down in the back seat of my car? You're not in any trouble, okay? I'm not going to be putting handcuffs on you. You obviously don't have any weapons. I'm going to get you into the air conditioning, let you take a breath, relax a little bit.
Dude, you need to get my contact on, Mom.
Parents of a missing woman from Long Island need help finding her.
Gabby Petito has not been heard from for weeks.
Petito disappeared while on a cross-country road trip with her fiancé, Brian Laundrie.
So right now, we have Devil's Garden Campground is right now. The lady was like,
She wanted this vlog to be her career. Brian thought it was stupid.
I called his sister. She said, oh, Brian's home. He left her at the hotel and he flew back.
Am I able to talk to your son? He's not going to talk. Okay, over.
I actually got Gabby's friend on this series. I got her back. I think it's I think her name is Rose. I have to look it up. I don't want to do any like side digging. I want to watch the whole thing. But the girl that's talking, or like she was just talking, that's her friend. I'm glad we got her for this. Really,
I knew something bad happened.
2 people went on a trip, 1 person returned.
This girl right here. This is what matters. That is it.
On the television screen was Gabby. I was screaming, what did he do?
He seems to be holed up with his parents, and he's not speaking with her family or investigators.
Off the property.
Big questions about his parents. What do they really know?
Do you think they're involved with your parents?
I mean, imagine if it was their son that was missing.
Did you do a welfare check on that guy? I think he's in trouble in the house.
The happiest people on social media usually have the darkest skeletons in their closet.
Hi everybody, it's Friday the 19th. It's 3:20. We're heading to the hospital. Nikki's having a baby.
Gabriella will be coming out soon. There's Joe, the nervous daddy.
That's right.
And the next time you see the film, we'll be running out the house going to the hospital.
See you later.
We're gonna show them.
Gabby was born March 19th, 1999. We named her Gabrielle Venora Petito. The moment she came into the world, she was loud. She was ready to go. Fun toddler, never stopped. She gave me a run for my money. I was 20 years old when I had Gabby. Joe and I stayed together till Gabby was about 6 months old. Then we went our separate ways, but amicably.
Nikki and I realized that we were not good together, but we both agreed to put Gabby's needs ahead of our own. And it's been that way ever since.
When Gabby was in preschool, as soon as I gave her something to write with, she was drawing pictures.
Gabby used to spread all of her artwork on our kitchen island, and she would just sit there for hours.
Growing up, everything she did always had like such detail. When she got older, it came so naturally without even giving it any thought. She'd just be sitting there, and then you'd look down 10 minutes later, and she has this amazing piece of art.
When Gabby went to high school, she really fit in with the art community there.
When I met Gabby, I was a freshman in high school, and she was the grade above me. I remember being excited because she was one of my first girlfriends. We were in a group, it was a lot of guys, so it was nice to have her to kind of balance out all that high school boy energy. A lot of our guy friends were the cooler, older group of kids, Brian especially. you looked 10 years older than he actually was.
Oh, you can film the Zoom? Oh, God.
I remember one of my friends met him and was like, there's a narc in our high school. Like, this guy, he can't be 16. He's got to be someone undercover right now. Well, after graduation, Brian shot me a text and said, please let's get together. He was unsure of his plan for the next few months. He didn't want to go to college. He was working, just living to survive. After he had graduated, he had everything he owned in his car. He was staying with our friend on his couch, and at one point I was just like, we have a bedroom. Brian stayed with us. We had gotten very close. One day, Brian and I built a desk in my room together. He had left a note in the desk. It said, you're either my best friend or the love of my life, and I'm too dumb to tell the difference. It was a little tricky because I saw Brian kind of like a brother, a very close friend. And I think that's kind of sort of the catalyst of when we kind of started to not grow apart, but we just weren't as close anymore. After that, he decided that he was going to get a townhome on Long Island. Brian, I remember, tells a story about how Gabby was going to the deli. Brian spotted Gabby, pulled over, ran up to her. Brian describes it as love at first sight. And Gabby described it as the same. It was like just fate.
Thanks, I remember.
Look at you. Look at the weakness too, you.
Oh, that's good. What was your Brian Roger Gabby.
Oh God.
I had heard about Brian while Gabby was in high school. Some friends that she hung out with were friends with Brian. I didn't realize that that was the same Brian until she reminded me.
Whoa!
We would ask her, are you dating Brian? Are you not dating Brian? She's like, no, we're just friends.
I have this one video of Brian playing the guitar to Gabby before any of us knew that they were dating, and it was just like, looking back now, it's like, how could I be so blind?
Sushi on the beach.
Usually,
Finally made it. I guess it sounds like
it's so pretty.
When I met Brian, I thought he was a little socially awkward, but very polite.
Quiet.
Quiet.
Kind of quiet.
Yeah.
Shook your hand, looked you in the eye.
Yeah. I liked him.
Mark your calendars, guys. 2019.
One day, Gabby came to me and asked what I thought of her moving to Florida with Brian. I remember saying to her, well, I guess you guys are a thing now. She really hadn't come out and said, we're definitely dating. So she said, yeah, Mom, we're dating. He's my boyfriend. And I was like, it's kind of quick. Are you sure? The next day, she was down in Florida.
Oh my
I
God.
think Brian had something to do with that.
Oh my God.
You made it on the road.
Rode the road?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be so much fun. I love the beach, the beach thing.
Oh, no, the beach is whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's like living a dream.
Yeah, true.
Gabby had a little Nissan Sentra. I was like, you're going to drive that car all the way down there?
The weather's so nice. It's 91 degrees right now. Talking about you, babe. You're burning hot.
Oh.
I went to the greenhouse that Brian had worked at. And I said, oh, Brian used to work here. He's one of my friends. And she goes, yeah, I remember the day he left. They had sat down, planned the rest of their life together. The next day they were gone.
Oh my God, babe, look at that. We drove through only the 3 worst fast food places that exist. But we made it. We made it. Look at this. We got all the lights going. Yeah, there we go.
Brian wanted to be in Florida to be close to his nephews and his sister, Cassie. Brian's parents were a little bit older when they had him. His sister was about 10 years older than Brian.
Gabby and Brian were living with Brian's parents, who moved to Florida too. At first, Gabby seemed to be enjoying it. Brian's mom, Roberta, was sweet. She would knit a lot and she would make Gabby things, but then started getting comfortable and not treating her as nicely. Brian's mom was having problems with how much time Gabby and Brian were spending together. Her jealousy was definitely very odd. Gabby told me that one night at the dinner table, Brian's mom was freaking out that nobody was focusing on her pies. I think she got mad and wasn't even talking to them. I thought that was really strange.
Okay, I should really say the fact that this is a covert narcissist, just FYI. Even from looking at her picture from here, well, before they moved the whole thing, because I paused the video, but that's like his mom sounds like a narcissist, whether she's covert. Seriously, and also saying that she was really jealous of Gabby because they were spending time together. I mean, they were dating and living there. Clearly a narcissist. I mean, you know that whenever it all happened, people were trying to get answers from that family, and they shun everyone and everything for a really long time. So it only makes sense. Like, his mom doesn't sound like the kind of person I want to, like, even know, honestly, or be around. And then the thing about covert narcissist parents, like, that's the reason why he turned out the way he turned out. But that's interesting. I'm trying to fix the microphone here. But yeah, his mom sounds like, oh no, big red flag. Poor Gabby. Living with those people. It's sad. Look at the pictures. Wow. It's like they were having a lot of issues with his mom.
Gabby started to feel very awkward. And was not
Seriously, I'm seeing their text messages here.
Soon after, I received a letter in the mail from the post office that her address was changed back to our address. I texted her.
It looks like Brian's mom was throwing a fit, and Gabby didn't know how to deal with it, and Brian got mad at her.
No, I didn't change it. And I said, so who did this? And she said, I think it was Brian's mom, but we don't want to talk about it.
The beginning of 2020, I was on Bumble for friends because I didn't have friends, so I didn't have much to do.
I got it right. Gabby's best friend was Rose. Yeah, I thought I was wrong. I got it right. But yeah, she was having a lot of issues with Brian's family. They're showing the text messages here. This is so uncomfortable, y'all.
Gabby reached out to me. She said, "You seem fun as hell. LOL. What's up?" And I said, "Not much. I'm just interested in everything. What's up with you?" And it was the same, not much. Watching Third Rock from the sun with my boyfriend. Just said that sounded amazing. We started messaging each other, and from there we were together at least twice a week. We were always having a good time. We made TikToks here and there. We didn't do much, but to us it felt like we were having the time of our lives.
I brought my service human. Nobody knows. You've been with me all day. Nobody knows.
I worked at Domino's as a delivery driver. Gabby would just sit in the car with me and ride around. When I met Gabby, I was at one of the lowest points in my life.
I also got you a stress bump.
So are you like learning that I'm going through something? Because this is for planting. I just saw the bad and everything. And she made me realize I should be seeing the good. I never had somebody make me feel so.
Seriously, here you can see that Gabby was totally like finding a lot of peace and having a lot of fun with Rose. Like that was, I've never seen her this happy. Wow.
Important and that my life mattered.
It would have been nice if it had actually been together instead of her and Brian. Just saying.
We were hanging out so much. She was like, Brian wants to meet you. I was like, oh, okay.
Hey, little bird.
We were all going to the beach together. And he kind of just sat back there and read his book while Gabby and I hung out. It felt like a parent was watching us on a play date. It was very weird, but he was very nice. I do remember coming home and saying to my mom, she's like, how was it? How was your boyfriend? And I was like, he's a really nice guy, but there is something off about him. And
clearly,
that just started becoming more and more clear as our friendship progressed. Brian had a very dark side of him.
Careful. I don't really feel like.
oh my god.
Alright, twice again. One, two.
They're firing a gun?
Even in his art, you could see it.
Yo, seriously, Rose knew from the beginning that he had issues. When she was hanging out with Gabby and he was just watching them like clearly. Usually the narcissist would isolate. Usually he would just isolate her. So eventually you'll see that Rose and Gabby stop hanging out for some reason. They'll show it soon. It was because of Ryan.
When I was around Gabby and Brian, they seemed like a loving couple. But when Gabby was with just me, he seemed very manipulative. One night, I waited an hour and a half for Gabby so we could go line dancing. And it's a 30-40 minute drive. So I was like, what is taking her so long? Well, Gabby had got right near my house and then realized her ID was not in her wallet. So she went back to the house. And I just remember getting the text message, I'm so sorry I'm running late. Brian stole my ID. I'm sobbing right now. Brian admitted that he stole it because he didn't want her to go out.
See?
She was so upset and she kept saying, we were fighting.
Seriously, right here, another sign. Like taking her ID, and this happens with passports too. So taking her ID and not letting her go out and hang out with Rose, like that's screaming narcissistic behavior, honestly.
And I'm like, but why? And she just would start sobbing again, no explanation. And I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Brian would give her a bunch of things. She'd get so upset with the way he would treat her. But then he'd do this amazing, sweet thing. And she's like, no, I'm lucky. I don't deserve him. Gabby had one of the strongest heads on her shoulders. But when it comes to somebody that you love and believe is going to be the person you're with for the rest of your life, and they shower you with all these amazing things.
That's love bombing.
It can make you blind to see, oh, he would.
Okay, so that's love bombing. Let me say it again. Love bombing? Bombing? Bomb. You know, like showering someone like that with a bunch of love, and then you're actually hurting them. Like they'll fight and get upset, and like he would do something for her that would be sweet, just to keep her stuck with him. It makes me really sad that Rose noticed this and she didn't like just grab her and done something
Just
to
made
her.
me cry earlier today.
Because
He
this
was
is
just making me feel
there's like narcissistic behavior information on the internet all over the place for free that you can educate yourself with.
like unworthy of his love, just to then turn around and be like, look what I did for you.
Hey, Matt, what is this artwork?
Comedian by Mauricio Catalan worth $6.2 million.
What? What? That's a $6.2 million banana. Are you kidding? We need to find you another banana. Bananas.
Gentlemen,
What a place you have.
who eats art?
I think you're supposed to say, hey, Meta. Like, hey, Meta, who eats art? And then Meta would say, Chris Pratt.
Hey, Meta, call my lawyer.
This isn't just a box of Plan B. It's a safe and effective way to take control of my body, my future. A backup plan that helps prevent pregnancy before it starts.
By temporarily delaying ovulation.
This isn't just a box of Plan B. It's proof that I've got this.
6 days of the week, when you steal a fry from your friend, they can say, hey, I paid for those. But on Free Fries Friday, they can't. Free Fries Friday at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
1 year and 3 months of dating. 1 year and 3 months of dating.
Brian reached out. He was just so happy. He told me that he was planning on proposing. He had this big grand plan. They went away somewhere middle of nowhere. There was a big lake and there were deer and wildlife. And they just said, this is so beautiful. What if we just get engaged here? He got down on one knee, and as he was proposing with no ring, a firefly landed on her ring finger. He said that's how we knew the universe wanted us to be together, was because nature wanted us to be together.
I saw a post on Facebook from Brian's mom. I remember, and she told me, yeah, Brian proposed to me while we were camping. And then I said, well, where's your ring? And she said, oh, I don't have a ring yet. We'll get one. I immediately asked Joey, and he had no idea. Brian never asked for Gabby's hand. So that was a little bit shocking. She didn't want to tell anybody. I thought that was really strange.
I was dumbfounded, to be honest. I really wasn't ready for that. I wasn't expecting that at all.
In the beginning, Gabby was excited and happy. But as time went on, she kind of lost that excitement.
They had other plans. They wanted to travel. They were set on it. They were like, we don't care when we get married. We just know we're going to get married. Let's just start living our lives.
We bought a van, a 2012 Ford Transit Connect. We're going to have so much fun designing and building this van together. Even though our plans got pushed back like wedding/baby plans, I'm very happy.
She decided that she wanted to take a road trip with a van to start a van life vlog. She had this drive to have a legit YouTube channel and a lot of followers.
We decided to convert it into a little camper, downsizing all of our belongings and moving our humble abode on wheels.
Money that had to come and pay for that. So Gabby was working at Taco Bell. She enjoyed it. She really liked the people she worked with.
She started working like 50 hours a week. She's like, I have to tell them to have a taco-tastic day, and I love it. And I'm like, you're so weird, but okay. So she would work and then hang out with me. That's when Brian started feeling neglected and having this possessiveness over Gabby.
What the fuck?
Just completely disregarding anything that made Gabby.
I'm going to go back to this text message because he's exploding right now, which is what they usually do whenever the narcissistic supply victim is like trying to make their own money, trying to do their own thing, trying to make it in life. Like the narcissist would like totally blow up, and this is what he's doing right now with not letting her hang out with Rose or hating the fact that she's working at all. It doesn't matter where she works, like Taco Bell or not, like that's what they do. They would hate whatever you're doing as long as it's not them. Like if she's focused on him, he wouldn't be mad or anything.
Have a taco-tastic day, and I love it. And I'm like, you're so weird.
These text messages are hard to read.
But okay. So she would work and then hang out with me. That's when Ryan started feeling neglected and having this possessiveness over Gabby.
Low lives,
just completely
like low lives coming from a guy who didn't want to go to school whenever he got out of high school or something, calling everybody else a low life.
Regarding anything that made Gabby happy, especially reaching out to her mother.
He called me and it was like, Gabby's working really late every night and she's hanging out with these people and they're bad. And I believed him.
Okay, that's one of the things that the narcissists do. They would call people around you to turn them against you or start filling their minds with like ideas and lies about you and what you're doing. Like she was just working at Taco Bell. She wasn't like, hanging out with drug addicts or anything weird like that, seriously. But he's calling her mom and telling her all this stuff. And the mom is obviously believing him because this is the thing about the narcissist. Like the narcissist, everyone will believe them. It's so easy because they're very good at manipulating people. Like you'll turn around and everyone in your life is against you because of that one person and what they're saying. I just want to go smoothly. I'm crying so hard in the damn fucking bathroom typing this. I'm pissed off. This is why he's texting. He's texting this poor girl. And I know you love me, and I'm so sorry. I worry you'll leave me. What the? No, honey, I didn't want you to be sad today. I love you so much. I'm sorry. I'll never leave. Seriously?
So she was like, I'm making him cry. I don't deserve.
No. That's the bad thing about like being the victim of a narcissist. Like they will make you think that you're the problem.
His feelings. I'm a bad person, and he wanted her to feel that way.
Yeah. I'm crying right now, but it's okay. I was just saying how it was so crazy. I was alone for so long. I was so happy. See, they blow up on you and they're like, oh, I can't believe that. I'm still not used to us being together. I'm still not used to being happy. I was alone for so long and I have you and we're happy and I love you and I'm scared I'm going to be alone again. That's literally what they do. Oh my God. This guy is a textbook narcissist. Like if she had known what this was before she even started being with them, like she could have had a chance. Like I mean, watching the mom, the whole fact that there is her mom and her stepdad, and then her actual dad and his stepmom, like this stuff is coming from generational. This is a generational issue. Like this is a generational situation. Like if you know what generational stuff is, like you'll understand. But like this is so sad. Like, but pay attention if you ever watch the show or if you find more about her. He's clearly like if you're looking for anyone who would be the perfect textbook narcissist is this guy. And when I was researching this case, I noticed that a lot of like the big names in narcissistic abuse, like they weren't talking about him for some reason. There's a lot of people that make YouTube videos about narcissists and whatnot and whole psychiatry stuff, like they'll talk about it, but they were not touching the subject for I don't even know why. Because it's this whole case, this whole story, this situation, like this is literally 100% textbook narcissism and someone who lost their life because of it. And everyone in her life, being blinded by it. She wasn't educated on it. And like I said, this information is available on the internet everywhere. You can learn about what narcissistic abuse is. You can see the signs and the red flags. You can save someone's life. You can save your life. Like, this is so sad. These texts are so sad, and they're so typical. She's so sweet.
Enjoyed her feeling that way because
Yeah.
then she depended on him again.
Yeah.
And trusted him again.
Yeah. Hey, honey, I don't want to keep bothering you by texting you how much I love you, but I really miss you. See, he's like going crazy now because he knows he hurt her and upset her and confused her and abused her. So once they're doing whatever they're gonna do to you, they want to fix it real quick. And he's doing this on this text message to her. All because she's working at Taco Bell and not with him at home, being his tool or in toy. Working on the band right now, man. You took over the Spotify, but you can text me. Oh man, you took over. I miss you so much. You hurt my feelings. You hurt my feelings. Took over the spot. Is she the only one bringing in money? Why is he not working? Sorry, I just got service back. I tried to text you. Relax.
Her van life, she started to open her eyes.
Not enough.
Brian, you know how much I love you. Just please stop crying and stop calling me names. You in pain is killing me.
Oh my God.
Gabby was constantly over at my house and kind of getting more frustrated. I think it was all clicking for her the more it went on. And the more her and I were together and talking and having a good time, she actually felt more independent. And that's when he was like, okay, I gotta do something to change this. Let me isolate her. If I get her away from her job, I get her away from her friend, she only has me. And then next thing you know, they were gone.
Gabby and Brian pulled up with the van. Brian didn't say much. He seemed very
preoccupied.
When they were leaving, we walked up to the driveway and I gave Gabby $200 and I said, this is just for gas or emergencies or whatever. And she was like, thanks, Mom. And then she started crying. And I was like, what's wrong? Why are you crying? And she's like, I don't know. So I gave her this.
Oh my God. I want to finish eating. Oh my God. This woman doesn't even know what narcissistic abuse is, bro. Like, why are you crying? I don't know. Why are you crying? I don't know. Grab the person. Don't let her go. She's communicating that she's confused and hurt and has been abused. Verbally, emotionally, but probably physically, because a lot of her paintings during this time are horrifying. A lot of her drawings, sketches, whatever she was doing, they're showing some of them. They're sad. They're really sad. Like the mom gives her money, and then it's like she's starting to cry. And I'm like, what's wrong, honey? I'm like, if my daughter does this shit, I'm grabbing her. She's not going anywhere at all. Like that's when someone is going through all this abuse, they don't even know how to communicate, how to tell someone that they're hurt, that something is really, 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 really awfully wrong. Trust me, as someone who has been through a lot of abuse myself, I have so many issues communicating. So many issues communicating because of it. Like, oh my God, they just didn't even know what this was about. This is so sad. This is so upsetting and sad. It's awful.
Hug, and I'll never forget how tight she hugged me, so tightly.
Yeah, because she was reaching out to
the best
you.
Hug ever that you could get from your kid. Like, it was just a squeeze.
She was terrified and reaching out to you.
I remember saying to Ben, "You take care of her, keep her safe." And he looked at me and he smiled and he said, "I will."
Mm-hmm.
4, 7, 5.
Oh my God.
3 small numbers. But when you put them together, they can take you to new heights. Because 4.75% APY is what you can earn right now with a high-yield savings account from Open Bank. Talk about high. That's 10 times.
This is the one they add. Yo, she was literally showing how she felt She was literally showing her mother, like by holding her, by trying to communicate with her. That's the thing. There's a lot of non-verbal communication things that they're gonna do to communicate and tell you, "Hey, something's wrong with me." Like I wouldn't have let her go. I wouldn't have left her. This is crazy. This is so crazy. Oh my god. Not yet. Still going on ads. Literally hugging her. Really tell you, like that's oh my god. That's literally telling her, hey, something's awful. Really wrong. Please don't let me. That's when you want to that's the moment when you know that they're trying to communicate with you. And she shouldn't have let her go. I'm saying like she shouldn't have let her go at all. I'm just saying. This is so sad. You have to pay attention to the non-verbal way that they communicate with you. It's coming back. We're watching the Gabby Petito doc on Netflix. Whenever. What? Okay. Must have flipped it off.
I'll do it. I'm Brian, and then you know what I'm gonna do. This week there, okay? What you looking at?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, I'm Brian,
And I'm Gabby.
and this is our Ford Transit Connect that we've been living in, and we thought it was finally time to give you a tour.
Alright.
What are you doing?
So we are currently in the salt flats. The ground here is so hard. Oh wait, I just like totally cut my face out of that entire shot. The ground here is so hard and crunchy. It is so open and beautiful here. I am going to go hug in a jackery while Brian makes us some dinner. It's nice that it's so sunny here. We have the jackery charging. It's pulling like about 60 watts right now. So that should be able to charge all our devices. And we're starting, so I'm super excited to eat. And I think we're going to try and get some work done on editing. I suck at this.
With the vlogging, Gabby was excited, but she knew it was going to be a lot of work.
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and set up the drone and my phone.
But she wanted this vlog to be her career for the time being. So she wanted to get it right.
Okay, then how do we go in there? Oh, it stopped beeping at me. Just want to get a really good shot of it taking off.
Oh.
It's fine, because I'm going to cut all this out anyway. Baby, come here. I want to retake this video. I think that my favorite part about everywhere we've basically traveled so far is I've only had like maybe 2 mosquito bites. The flies are driving me nuts, but I'd rather flies than mosquitoes for sure.
For sure.
Early on, Gabby told me that Brian didn't think the vlog idea was a good idea. He thought it was stupid.
You just have to get gas, and I said it like 100 times. Alright, so we just stopped to get some gas. We're really hungry.
We're almost to our destination, so I'm
Okay, so here I'm eating a lot of lime juice with my food. So she was having, she wanted to have this blog, be a YouTuber like everyone here. And he was like, oh, that's just the dumbest idea I've ever heard. Of course, like the narcissist is always going to bring your ideas down. Whatever ideas you have, they're going to bring them down and trash them and step on them and spit on them and destroy them and make you feel extremely insecure. I'm watching her right now with the videos they're showing and everything, and it's so hard to watch her because her whole entire body language is just like literally telling you what she's going through. It's so sad. It's just so sad. So remote.
in the back and our little train.
Oh my god, you should have seen that. That was like a 7-year-old driving that 4x4. Side by side.
I think a big reason Brian didn't want her to do the vlog is because I think he was worried that the truth of everything would be on footage. There's that possibility that he says the wrong thing or reacts the wrong way while she's recording.
You know what? It's my absolute favorite part about the van. The fact that we have this nice big open floor for you to keep your dirty feet.
Behind the scenes, Gabby and Brian would get into arguments.
Okay. No, turn it in. What else did I want to say? I was like making points before. Well, you even knew how to edit. I'm not moving at all. Thank you so much.
It's hard. You can't see. You took my light. You're fighting over the light.
When you're living on the road, it in a lot of ways gets romanticized, especially on social media.
So right now we are at Mystic Hot Springs.
Every few weeks we'd have a FaceTime and recap on what she's done. But then I noticed Gabby distanced herself a decent amount from me, and I don't know why.
But the view is so pretty.
Took her into it.
And there's Brian right there.
People want to see this young, in-love couple having the time of their life, traveling. They don't really want to see the nit and grit of it.
I feel bad I'm always on my phone. I should give Brian more attention. He loves me so much, I don't deserve it. But I'm lucky he sticks with me. Okay, so right now we're at Devil's Garden Campground in Bright. I did bring the tattoo machine. So, this is so awkward. It's so awkward to talk to the camera. I can take a video whatever I want and then put it together.
I just think that she was trying to convince herself that everything was okay.
Oh my god, that's why we're ad. Is that Publix ad? Publix needs an ad? What? Publix has an ad. I've never seen an ad for Publix. Okay. really pretty in this outfit. Time for the start. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is when they were in Utah. They just showed a picture of when he punched her or hit her, whatever. Like, the side of her face is like really red. It's so hard to watch. So hard to watch. They just showed it. August 12th. It's gonna be right there on the screen. I don't know if you can see it. It's like 1 Days on the Road. And there it is. Well, you can't see it, but she's really hurt. You can't see it on the screen, but she's really, really hurt.
Hi, I'm calling. I'm right on the corner of Main Street. We're driving by, and I'd like to report a domestic dispute. Florida license plate, white van. Gentlemen, where's it at? 6 years. They just drove off. They're going down Main Street. What were they doing? We drove by, and the gentleman was slapping the girl. He was slapping her? Yes, and then we stopped. They ran up and down the sidewalk. He proceeded to hit her, hopped in the car, and they drove off.
Okay, you said white van?
It was a smaller van. The make was a Ford, model was Transit.
White for transit. All right, I will let somebody know. Thank you.
Subject says hit the curb. You want to place your vehicle in the park and go ahead and turn it off? The park? Oh, it is a park. Okay, turn off your engine. Go ahead and set your keys on the dashboard. All right? Can I get you to step out of the vehicle for me? Yeah. I'm so sorry. Oh, no, you're fine. I'm going to go ahead and close your door.
Hey, we got a call about a male hitting a female and the two of them getting in this vehicle and taking off.
Sorry. I don't want to try and defend myself by saying anything here, but I pushed her away. She gets really worked up. And when she goes, she swings and she had her cell phone in her hand, so I was just trying to get her away.
Down there, I really been fighting all morning, and you would have me in the car before.
Why wouldn't you let me in the car? Because
you told me to calm down. Yeah. I'm perfectly calm. I'm calm all the time, and it really stresses me out, and this is a drug mode.
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't I sit you down in the back seat of my car?
Okay.
All right. Just go ahead and take a seat.
This is so hard.
What's that? Yeah, I just looked at her. So, you want to do me a favor? Let's go ahead and get you to step out of the vehicle, alrighty? Come on over here. You're not in any trouble right now. So, tell me what's going on.
She just gets worked up sometimes, and I try and really distance myself from her, so like I locked her car and I walked away from her. But what happened this morning was that she's trying to start up like her own little website blog and everything, so I give her time to, we really had a nice morning with everything, but
You want to tell me about those scratches on your face?
she had herself on her hand, that's why I was pushing her away, because she wanted, I left the keys, so you walk away, I said, let's just take a breather, and let's not go anywhere, let's just calm down for a minute, and work up. And then she had her phone trying to get the keys and work out the way I was trying to, I don't want to push her, I was trying to push her away, so let's take a minute, step back and breathe, and she got her phone.
What's your name?
Gabby.
Gabby, how old are you?
I'm 22.
Did you get hit in the face? Kind of looks like someone like hit you in the face. And then over on your arm? shoulder right here. That's new. It's kind of a new mark.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Did you get you know? I mean, it's okay if you're saying you hit hands, but I understand if you get you, but come on, on the actually hit you. Did you? Where did he hit you? Don't worry. Be honest.
So I'm just trying to keep her away and not get hit. And then I got really loud and I just like everyone's attention where I was going. Back up, get away, just give me a...
Okay, so you said you pushed her to create some distance, obviously, right? What happened after that? What got the scratches on your eye? So I'm thinking drinking?
No, you don't.
Okay. What was up this back? I saw saying did it hurt
I
while you're driving?
What?
What him driving you hit them? So you pushed her and she hit you?
It wasn't like a push, and she was already, I don't know, she was already swinging, man. I just put up the, yeah, a lot of angles, a lot of nails, a lot of things. Yeah, you got three scratches in your neck. You got one on the left side of your neck.
I did it like that. I kind of put it on like this.
Pretend or anything like that?
Okay, I'm fine. I hope she doesn't have too many complaints from me. Well, you're the victim of the domestic assault. You're going to get it back.
Great about her story, let's say. No, you can talk to her. She seemed like a really sweet girl, 22 or something, has a lot of anxiety.
Yeah!
From what she's claiming, she's the full-on aggressor here. And that's how it is there.
They're kind of having a rough day, it sounds like.
Yeah.
You know, these people are so messed up. I swear to God, they're so messed up. They could have saved her from this moment. Because this is one of the last few moments before she's gone. Like, they could have saved her. She took the blame for everything. And he just, like, said that she was the bad one and she was the one that hit him. When the side of her face is, like, messed up. Like, you know, they separate them for 24 hours, but she goes back to him.
Well, thank you. You guys can. That was very. Oh, I put on that.
A beautiful campground, isn't it? Yeah.
Tonight, they're going to get my phone like gone.
I can find out. Give me just a minute. I'm going to close this. Take a deep breath, okay? Be right back.
What do you mean find out? Let her talk to her mom.
Gabby called me crying and upset. She said that her and Brian had an argument. I asked her what happened. She said Brian had locked her out of the van. I was like, what, for what? And she said, oh my God, it was just stupid. And it kind of brushed everything off.
How far do you want to go with this? Like, here's why they don't give discretion on these things. It's because too many times women who are at risk want to go back to their abuser, and then they end up getting worse and worse treatment, and then they end up getting killed.
Which is what happened to her!
No way, shape, or form that I can perceive that this is going to digress into this.
Are you crazy? Are they crazy? Because this is what happened to her. She's gone. He did it. Oh my God. Oh my God. The cops are here talking to each other. Oh, I don't think the situation is gonna go there. I don't think it's gonna get that bad. Let's let her go. That is insane, bro. This is so bad. I don't want to be anyone on any of these videos right now. Oh, I don't think it's gonna go there. I don't think it's gonna go there. I don't think it's gonna go there. Are you kidding me?
Situation where he's going to be a battered man. Right. But then again, I don't have a crystal ball. Everything she's saying.
You wish you did.
The primary aggressor. Now, I'm looking at a 110-pound female. She's not a threat to him. More than slight abrasions on her fingernails. I don't care if we use the actual letter of the law to not charge. But I also don't care because it literally does possibly make perfect sense to go full-on domestic assault and do the whole thing.
They actually wanted to charge her for domestic assault on Ryan. Oh my God. Oh my God. These people are so messed up. These people are so messed up, bro. They're so messed up.
Thanks for the decision I made, but the decision I didn't make.
Another option is to not charge him and separate him for the night. If they find themselves together again, what if the team you separated them? You provided for safety. All right, Gabrielle. He does have marks on him. Normally would take people to jail, but he's trying to work and see you can just have the van tomorrow.
I don't want to be separated.
You can have anxiety.
Yeah, no, where is he? Please.
There's no what is it?
No, where is he? Please. He's gonna give me so much anxiety.
But you tend to have a lot of anxiety and stress.
A lot of anxiety.
Just saying. I'm not talking about you with your life, but you know you have anxiety. Look at the situations you can get in. You know what I mean? All right, Brian, couple things. Couple things. One, I got your hotel room. Okay, thank you. All right, I'm outside. So I'll be outside. Thank you, Brian. You're gonna be in a hotel room.
I like the ups. This guy's cracking jokes with the cups. Cracking jokes with the cups. Just chilling. Sometime before he ends her life. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I can't. They separate them. She doesn't want to be separated from him, obviously. This is so sad.
You might suggest her have to sit down and relax and smoke and watch TV. When she's pressing on her love, saying good night, stuff like that, already doing stuff that I do in my life too, okay? So, I appreciate it. Just
It was just a silly argument. It was just like, yeah, what?
A silly argument where it came to putting hands on each other and he's got marks.
And she's gone.
Silly arguments shouldn't involve hurting each other. I know you didn't. That wasn't the intention.
You useless people.
But silly arguments shouldn't go that far.
You'll just go stand over here in front of this pickup real quick. We'll get her out of here and have to go right over. Alright? Don't text each other tonight. He wants to pass on the same message you passed to him. He really looking forward to talking to you again, but I told him and you, unless there's earth-shattering emergency news, don't text tonight, okay? Even with the good nights, I love you. He's saying good night now because I know he loves you now, and you get out tomorrow morning, okay? He's gonna go to the hotel. I'm gonna give you the keys to the van. I'm going to go home. Alrighty? Also, something I want you to know. Here, stand over here real fast forward. If you go over to City Market, they have a list of places where you can get yourself a shower for like $4 or $5, something like that. It's cheap. Place where you can shower, decompress, de-stress, something like that. Alrighty?
Yeah, I just showered yesterday. What it is?
Well, you didn't have today happen yesterday, so it does. My wife wanders. When she gets stressed out, it's like, get in the shower.
It does
Get in the
sound
shower.
really relaxing.
Go take a shower, relax, take some time for yourself. And like I said, don't text each other tonight. Text each other tomorrow morning after your eyes open up and you're fully awake at the top of your morning routine, okay? Have a good night. You have a good night, okay?
I hope you say goodbye to her. I hope all of you say goodbye to her.
You like it?
Oh my god, I hate these people so much right now.
Heck yeah, dude. I got my own phone hooked up to this thing. Yeah.
I just want to make sure you have room to get out. Okay. Yeah, you're welcome. Have a good one.
Yeah. Have a good one in heaven.
She seems a lot like my wife. My wife has really, really bad anxiety. She takes medication for it daily, and sometimes it's just not enough. And things that really
I wonder why.
My wife is when she gets stressed out to go take a long hot shower. So I gave her a place to go where she can get a shower tonight for like $4 or $5, really cheap. We're gonna go in there. We're gonna have a nice. Tyson? Yep. This is Brian Laundry. Alright. So he's gonna get you all set up with your hotel room. Alright. And like I said, just remember my requests. Anything, I think it'll make a big difference in you guys' next couple of weeks at the very least. I really appreciate it so much. For everything. No problem. It's nice to meet you, Brian. Nice to meet you. Have a good one.
Oh my god. They thought that they did it. They thought that they fixed it.
That evening, she said that her and Brian just were told to spend the night apart. That's what they do in situations to cool off. I said, I don't like you being alone in your van. Where's Brian going? And she said, oh, they're taking you to a hotel. I was like, why is he going to a hotel and you're in your van by yourself? And I was still
because she took the blame.
You need to come home.
Like always.
She said, Mom, I promise everything's fine. We're just going to continue.
Oh my god. I would have run like crazy to her. This woman.
August 22nd, I got a text from Gabby. And I called her. She and Brian had gotten in an argument. I feel like the phone call was a cry for help. I think she was wanting to get away, but just didn't know how to do it.
And you didn't do shit either.
She wasn't sure of what he would do or what he could do.
Oh, now you all know what he did. God damn it. I'm sorry.
Target made up and up for you, helping you save on storage
She reached
solutions
out
with
to her
bags in all
ex-boyfriend.
shapes and sizes, so everything has a home.
She reached out to
Everyday
her
favorites at
ex-boyfriend.
unbeatable prices.
He's like, I don't know what she wants to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. No, what does he do now? Warn her? Swear to God. This is the sad thing about a narcissistic abuse victim. Anyone in their life doesn't know anything.
Good morning.
I swear.
It is really nice and sunny today. It's only 10 o'clock in the morning, but it rained all afternoon yesterday. Me and Brian just got up and got ready, made the bed in the tent, set up, Brian's stretching, doing some morning yoga. He ate breakfast already, but I am about to cover the man and make some.
After the Moab incident, Gabby contacted me and said that Brian was going to be flying home to empty out a storage unit. While Brian was home, Gabby stayed at a hotel in Utah working on the YouTube video.
The man who can climb any tree.
I believe one of the hardest things to do is walk away from somebody you love. I think that's a big reason she stayed, was because she did love him and she didn't like the way he treated her, but she thought she could fix him.
Gabby was most certainly my first love. But just the time that we were together just wasn't right for the two of us. We dated for a year before she dated Brian. When I noticed from social media that they were dating, they were a little bit of ways into their trip. It definitely was a very eye-opening experience for me because that was something that we spoke about wanting to do together. Buying a van and traveling the country. Seeing her being all happy and smiley and laughy on videos and stuff like that. I was definitely like dang, that was supposed to be us. But I was still super happy for her because I knew that that's what she wanted to do. On August 22nd, I got a text from Gabby.
I'm sure I'm the last person on the planet you want to hear from. I would really love to talk to you. I'm only alone until tomorrow.
My mind started racing. I was like, hey, I'd love to be able to talk to you. It's been a while. It'd be nice to catch up. And I called her. A lot of what we talked about was just catching up, how life was going for her, how life was going for me. It was just real late in the evening whenever we got to the end of the phone call. I got the vibe that she may have still needed somebody to talk to after we hung up. So I was like, hey, if you do need to talk again, let me know. It's okay. Like, I'm okay with that. And during that time is when it was, she like kind of hinted at the fact that they had kind of gotten in an argument a little bit. She's like, I have a plan. I think I want to leave him. I'm going to do it. I have to figure out when to do it. And that's when I was kind of like, well, hey, well, what are you talking about? What do you mean you have a plan? From the sound of her voice and the way she was saying it, I think that she like wasn't sure of what he would do or what he could do.
Oh my God.
I think she was wanting to get away, but just didn't know how to do it. The fact that she reached out to me kind of told me that like, hey, maybe she feels safe talking to you, or maybe she felt like that I was the only person that would understand, or I was the only person that might want to even listen at all. And I just kind of was making sure that she knew, like, be very careful.
Right, that did something for sure.
On August 27th, a few days after our phone call to me, hey, I'm in Jackson Hole, and it reminded me of you.
Reaching out to her. She got sick.
Later in the day, had gotten a phone call from her. I was at work and was unable to answer it.
Oh. I gotta stop the video here because this was the last footage of her before it happened. And they went to Whole Foods the day before she was sick. I think they went to eat Mexican food. That's what it looked like, Tex-Mex or something. They were eating that food and it was bad, and she felt sick. She must have been in the bathroom texting him. She called that guy again, her ex-boyfriend, sometime afterwards, probably asking for help in one way or another, but he didn't get the idea. He didn't pick up the phone because he was busy. And the last video of them is at Whole Foods when Brian is getting off the van and slamming the door, and then they're coming around. They're going inside of the store, and then they're leaving, and then she's like trying to hold. She was holding the little bag with the food that they bought, with the groceries that they bought. Like she had 2 bags, I think. She looked like she was like really like shy and stuff. I'm gonna play it back a little bit.
Later in the day, had gotten a phone call from her. I was at work and was unable to answer it.
They're getting off the van right there. He's slamming the door, and then they're coming into the Whole Foods. She's holding a little baggie that she's trying to get things with. She keeps looking at things, but he walks away from her. That's one of the things that narcissists do. Like when you're trying to do something, they'll just like walk away or trying to get you to focus on what they're doing. There has to be more said about that.
To Gabby, I asked her how her and Brian were doing. I was concerned about her since Moab. She said, I'm fine. I convinced Brian to go camp out in the woods so I can have the van to myself. It's what he wants to do anyway. I don't care. He said I could have the van if I paid him.
Paid him?
I said, are you guys breaking up? Gabby said, no. I just said I could make more money as a solo female van lifer. I'm driving to a campsite now.
She was trying to leave him, I think.
August 29th, I had gone fly fishing and I wanted to attend a church service. In the summer, there is a 5 p.m. service in Grand Teton National Park. So I had decided to go into the park. After I left the church service, I was exiting the park.
Okay, so that day, August 28th, I think he was camping on his own. August 29th, I think this lady's gonna talk about how she must have started to get hit. I know there's a couple of people that have videos, because there's the funny thing is that there's this guy who he was blogging with his wife and his kids on his own van, and they drove past Gabby's van. And then time after, they were going through their videos and they saw that video and they reported it, because when the murder happened, there was a hotline where you can send in your tips and whatnot, and they got in contact with the authorities and the family, and they showed the video of how they drove past the van and how the door was being closed. There was like stuff going on over there, but on that video, a lot of people have said that is after the fact. Like after the fact, that is what that he was in there for a minute. You know, he abandoned the van. He came back to his parents' house afterwards, and then that's when after that he went to the other park where he ended his life and whatnot. But during that time, his family was ignoring everything and everyone, and didn't want to open the door and whatnot. And there was people protesting outside of their homes for a while. So all of this is online. Like, you can see all of this online. I'm just giving you a quick summary of it, but I guess they're gonna start showing all of the evidence or the clips and whatnot from this part on, because she's already gone at this point. I'm on episode 2 right now. Where is Gabby? But she's already gone. He already did this thing. Like that one night, let's say maybe August 26, August 27, 28, 29. So August 27, she calls her ex-boyfriend. He doesn't pick up because he's working. She texts her mom or something, August 28th or something. Brian goes camping on his own, supposedly August 29th. And now that it's already done, she's gone. She's already gone. And they're gonna start showing stuff right now, I guess, about it all. But yeah, like I don't want to be her ex right now.
And that's when I noticed the young man alone hitchhiking. He looked like maybe he had been backpacking or walking. When he got in the car, he had asked if I would take him to Jackson. I said, I'm not going that way. I'm going north. He said, well, can you at least take me down to Spread Creek's campsite?
Okay, so this is the actual lady that picked him up, but a lot of the clips here in this moment, they have actors that are, you know, they're doing a drama of what happened, because they don't have that footage, obviously, of when he got picked up, when he was like, this lady picked him up, and then eventually he made his way to his parents' house. She found him on the woods. You know, I guess it's not weird to find someone in the woods like that. I guess, you know.
Fiance is working on our blog, and she's in the van, and I said, sure, I'll take you down that far. It was maybe a 10-minute drive. His energy was a typical young person. He appeared to me to be about mid to late 20s. He had a little bit of a body odor about him, so it was reasonable that he had been hiking or had maybe spent, a day overnight. As we were driving along, there was a Bible. The turn into Spread Creek dispersed camping actually slid across the dashboard to his lap. He had picked it up and he put it back on the dashboard. We proceeded to the gate of Spread Creek. I said, do you want to take me further past the gate? And he was like, no, I'll get out here. He literally was opening the passenger side of the door. And I said, well, wait, I'm going to stop the car. I had made a comment, just trying to be funny, like, oh, you want to walk into the campsite. You don't want your fiance to see you being, driven all the way to the campsite. And he said, no, it's fine. I'll just walk through. I never thought anything of it.
Oh my God. She's saying that the Bible that was on her dashboard fell on his lap. He was like, okay, I'm out of this car. Like, oh my God. Mm-mm.
On August 30th, I received a text from Gabby's phone, and it said, can you help Stan? I just keep getting his voicemails and missed calls. My phone doesn't even ring. There's no service. But the thing that stuck out to me about that text was it says Stan, and Stan is Gabby's grandpa, who she referred to as grandpa. I just thought maybe Brian was texting it because she was driving.
Nope, she's gone already.
I could not get a hold of Gabby. September 1st, I texted, hey, how's it going? Going to bed, wanted to say hi. September 2nd, I said hi, asked her a question, are you going to Montana? She did not respond. I was looking through social media every day, and I wasn't seeing any new posts. Gabby posted her very last 25th. And that was the last time I FaceTimed with Gabby. Nervous. But I thought I'm overthinking it. She's got no service. They're having fun. They're hiking.
Bro, you should have been nervous when she was on TV with the side of her face beaten up. That's when you should have been nervous. Oh my God.
Leave her alone. She'll get back to me when she can. September 6th, I texted her, Gab, I just got home from camping. I haven't heard from you. Love you. September 7th, hi, I know you might not have a good signal, but I'm actually getting worried. I haven't heard from you in a while. On September 9th, I texted Joe.
She's like, have you heard from Gabby? I haven't heard from her in a couple of days. And I was like, I haven't heard from her either. So we started making phone calls to her, but she didn't answer.
Notice how everyone is trying to get a hold of her like crazy. Like they're just trying to get a hold of her right now. Days after the fact. This is so. It makes me. And I know it's a sensitive matter. It should be a bit more sensible. I get it. But, I'm working on this story about a missing person. And I'm going to dedicate it to her story. But this is heartbreaking. Like, everyone is trying to get a hold of her now. After the fact. Not when she was trying to reach
I
her
had
out.
gotten a call from Gabby's mother. Hey, have you heard from Gabby? We haven't heard from her. We've been looking for her. I texted her a few times, like, hey, I hope you're doing good. Your mom's looking for you. But I got no response. And I had started to begin to think that Gabby had gone through with her plan that she had spoke about. And I started getting the vibe that something bad was going on.
Gabby and I had planned for her to call me on my birthday. She did not call me on my birthday. It was like, that's weird.
I was concerned that both Gabby and Brian were missing. They were camping by themselves. They could have gotten lost in the mountains. On Friday, September 10th, I tried texting Brian's mom, Roberta. I said, hey, have you heard from the kids? I'm concerned about them. I haven't heard from them in a while. That went through, No response. It's a couple hours later. I said, I hope I have the right number. And that went through green as if I had been blocked or the phone was shut off.
And then I reached out to Brian's parents, and they just never responded. Neither did Cassie, Brian's sister. No one replied.
Oh my god. Huh?
Gabby was going to be there.
They're all into this bullshit.
This is a person that I thought they loved. And I have text messages saying that you were going to call the police. And if someone texts me that they're going to call the police, I want to know what's up. We heard.
So I made a Facebook post. It was a picture of her sitting. Said, "Where's Gabby?"
I saw a post that said, "We haven't heard from her. If anyone has any information, please let me know." I immediately sent it into our high school friends group chat. We theorized that the two of them just chucked their phones into the ocean and said, "We're done with it, done with social media, we're done with anyone around us, we're just going to be together and go off grid."
When you look at a star, you're looking back in time.
Alexa, lower the TV
I
volume.
see the future. Okay.
I swear, like. Oh my god. Now they're oh my god. This is so upsetting. This is so upsetting. Because this is when when his parents didn't talk to anyone or anything. Like they just like didn't communicate and then block people and whatever. Everyone was all in it. Like this is crazy, bro. This is crazy. I would have gotten up and like, bro, I would have done whatever I could to go wherever she was, and like I would have gone ape shit. I think anyone else too would have had the same idea. Like, this is crazy. Alexa, raise the volume of the TV to 70.
Parks police to report her missing, but they told us that it had to be
Of them just chucked their phones into the ocean and said, "We're done with it, done with social media, we're done with anyone around us, we're just going to be together and go off grid."
We started making phone calls all over the West Coast, all the parks police to report her missing, but they told us that it had to be where your place of residence is. That's when we decided to call Northport Police. Northport Police Department. What can I help you with today?
Well, I wasn't sure if you guys could help or not, just because my daughter lives there in Northport, but she's been on a road trip in her camper van with her boyfriend. She's just gone on like off-road ride for 11 straight days, which is not like her at all. And then I don't know what to do exactly.
Where was the last place that you knew she was at when you talked to her?
In the Grand Teton, Wyoming.
Okay.
But then after that, nothing. She just like disappeared.
The phone call that I initially received wasn't necessarily anything out of the normal, but things were not adding up as far as where Gabby was. So on late Saturday, September 11th, we had officers go to the Laundrie family home.
Northport Police Department.
They're not gonna open the door or whatever.
Hey, sir, I apologize for bothering you. I have the detective on the phone. You don't want to talk to us? Okay, she's on the phone. You don't want to talk to her now? Okay, it's when was the last time that you saw Brian and Gabriel? Well, Brian was here. Brian is here? Yeah.
He was in the house already. Oh my god, he was already back on his own, and his parents were hiding him. So annoying.
I don't know why my attorneys are there. Okay. The corner, so I can give you his number. Whose number? The attorney's number? Okay, I would like that.
They already got an attorney, by the way. Gabby's parents don't even have an attorney yet at this point.
Just to let the detective know, is Gabriel here? No. She's not here. Is this her vehicle? Her van? It's both of them. It's both of them? Okay. All right, thank you.
The van is there too. Oh my god.
They said they're on top. And then I asked him who does that van belong to, and he says both of them.
keep in mind that I guess eventually they're gonna show the clips where people are trying to find her and that video of the guy that drove past the van, and that's how they find that campsite and eventually find her. And keep in mind that like a lot of like people that were missing for a really long time were found during the search for Gabby's remains, which is I guess a positive thing to say. But the band was already back, and Brian was already back. He was already back before they started to get worried about her. Like I would have broken through that door and grabbed him, bro. I would have just got in there and grabbed her. Because if you're gonna let a woman that was beaten up to stay on a van on her own and give the guy a room, then you're fucked up. But if you're gonna see that her boyfriend is back at his parents' house, or her parents are going ape shit, and the van is out there, and you're not gonna do anything, you're fucked up.
You're seeing the van in their driveway and they won't tell you where she is? Yeah, because I ran all the tags, and then there's a little white van that comes back to the real Petito. Gabrielle? Yeah, it's part of they're not saying she's there? No. In the meantime, I had called his sister. She called me back and said, oh, Brian's home. He told me they got into a fight at a hotel, and he flew back. I don't know what's going on, but it's pretty shady.
You're laughing!
Answer any of my phone calls. I get what are they hiding? They may not hire a supervisor too. I don't know how it works. Yes, I will. I'm definitely on a festival right now. I'm gonna get off with the phone.
This is the only cop that I see who's doing something. He's still there outside of Brian's parents' home.
Hey, Detective Barry, Sergeant Seltzer with Northport PD. How you doing?
Good, how are you doing?
Not too bad. What's going on tonight with, is it Gabriel or Gabrielle?
It's Gabrielle.
Okay.
So she was reported tonight missing by her parents, who live up here on
Okay. I mean, just because she's not contacting them, I mean, as an adult.
Talk to me then?
An adult.
Just because somebody's
Just because.
You don't find that a little suspicious when I now have a missing person for 10 days?
I do find it suspicious, but well, that's New York. I mean, this is Southwest Florida. I wouldn't even have been able to take the missing report.
Okay, I'm gonna put you on with my supervisor. Hold on.
All right,
There's a problem up here that she's MIA, and now there's the person she was supposedly with is at the house refusing to cooperate with police for her whereabouts. Simple missing person. Hold on.
Okay. Wow. They actually figured it out. They actually figured it out. This cop outside of her house actually figured it out. This dude is back at his parents' house, not wanting to cooperate with the cop outside. The band is there. He's making the phone calls. Florida, Long Island. Oh my God.
Hey, Sergeant Alvarez, Sergeant Seltzer with Northport PD. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
We're getting little to no cooperation from the boyfriend's parents at the house.
Right.
Here's what I'm just gonna get out. What are you looking for us to do here at this point?
I mean, we have conflicting statements. There's two homes and now the van's there.
Sure.
She's missing. She has no contact with the parents. But based on, her contacting all along, and now there's nothing. Not even a phone on.
Sure, I agree that that's suspicious. I'm not denying that in the least.
No, I'm sure you're not.
Here's where I'm at. I agree. Everything is odd. Everything is suspicious. I don't think we have probable cause. I mean, the best I can do is maybe go down and try to see if they'll talk to me. So.
All right, yeah. If you can talk to them, maybe give us a call back.
Police department. Hey, look, I hate to bother you. I know you've already said you don't want to speak
Well, if you guys know anything, it would let the parents at ease and go from there.
We don't know anything.
Okay.
You don't know anything. He's there in your
Anything that
house.
You guys would be able to give them.
He's in your
some
house.
type of help. Last time your son saw her.
Oh my
anything
God.
Like that. Am I able to talk to your son? The other officer said. I mean, as a parent, you wouldn't want to know where it happened with yours. I mean, it makes it very odd, don't you think? From my point of view, Chris.
You could call our attorney, give your phone number.
My attorney's not going to answer it.
I'm not speaking to anybody.
Yeah, we're not comfortable with it.
So the van is only registered to her.
Do you need an attorney?
I'm not really sure.
Well, I'm going to tell you. I'm telling you. The title on the state of Florida is it's only hers. So it's not supposed to be here.
Okay.
So I'm going to take a tow truck and get it. Is a car in the way?
It's my car.
Okay.
He's gonna take the van. He's taking the van because the van belongs to her, but it's parked outside of Brian's house. Alexa, lower the TV volume to 10.
Just 1 week. Okay.
So they're taking the van away because it's parked at Brian's house, not her. You know, it shouldn't be there. So they're taking it. You know, like if Dad doesn't tell you anything, these people are refusing to talk to the cops or to answer any phone calls or text messages. They already have an attorney. Like, they already have a freaking lawyer, even before anyone knocked on their door. Why do you have a lawyer? Why are you hiding Brian? Why do you have a lawyer? Alexa, raise the TV volume to 70.
Okay.
Probably be the easiest. Checking it or anything is okay?
Yeah. I would try to avoid the inside.
100% avoid the inside. Good. Kind of weirded out. I don't know what's going on.
We get a knock at the door, and I see Detective Barry standing there. She said I had to go to the house. To check to see if Brian was there or if they had heard from Gabby and Brian. And she said, Brian's there with the van, not Gabby, and he's lawyered up. He has a lawyer already. I never felt anything like that in my life. My body would not stop shaking.
We started screaming.
I collapsed.
What do you mean he's home? What do you mean he's got an attorney? Why would he have an attorney?
My whole body went into shock. I thought, I knew something bad happened.
Bro. When her face was on the freaking news with like red on this side of her face, like I would have freaked the hell out. Something bad did happen in front of their eyes for the longest time. But they have to wait until she's gone to be able to react and get the point. Oh my God.
And that's get as many eyes.
We started.
Person, so we can find, email, everything, studio, we could, and I flew to Florida right away.
You could have come to Florida before.
All right, what I from everybody here is help, because the goal is still not met, and that goal is to bring Gabby home safe. All right, and I'm asking for help from everyone here. I'm asking for help everyone at home. I'm asking for help from the parents of Brian, and I'm asking for help of the family members and friends of the Laundry family as well.
They're getting help here, but she's already gone. At this point, she's already gone anyway.
A day or two later, it was just everything.
Investigators looking for a missing 22-year-old from New York after they say she disappeared while road tripping crossing.
I don't even remember. Everything's a blur.
Demands for answers tonight by the family of a young woman from New York's Long Island missing.
On the television screen was Gabby. I just lost it, to be honest. I was screaming, what did he do? He did something, what did he do?
I texted Brian. The message didn't go through.
Well, detectives have recovered the van Gabby Petito was riding in. There's still no.
Why did you reach out to that demon?
Disappearing while traveling cross country with her fiance. He returns home to Florida without her.
We don't know what he told his parents, right? But the fact that his parents have been uncooperative, have not answered questions by the Petito family. I mean, imagine if it was their son that was missing.
This investigation, as we've said, stretches almost from coast to coast, more than 2,000 miles right now under investigation. Teams are trying to retrace Gabby's steps across the West Coast, including the Grand Teton National Park. We discussed sending one of us out to Wyoming, and we decided that Jim would go.
We needed somebody out west where we last knew her to be.
And tell me what you're doing here to help people find Gabby.
We're just here to support law enforcement with whatever they need. We're committed to finding Gabby and doing whatever it takes to help them.
With this job, you never know what's going to come at you on a daily basis, and I think you just need to be prepared for anything. This was a case that we started to handle it as we would any other case. We've had situations where we've had to locate people that have either gotten lost or injured in the wilderness.
Authorities are continuing their search for a missing 22-year-old woman, last believed to be in Wyoming.
Officials with Grand Teton National Park confirmed to me earlier they're searching several different areas of the park.
But with the amount of national coverage and media that was involved, it became something that was unique to me and to our agency. We've never dealt with anything like this before.
I'm hoping wherever she is that she's okay and she's safe.
What we did was try to assure Jim and his family that we were going to throw all available resources at this case and do what we could to bring it to resolution. My first conversation with our FBI agent was a request that we could certainly use your help. My final call was really telling him to get his ass up here to Jackson because the whole world was now focusing on this location and this was going to be a big deal.
I received a call from Teton County Sheriff Matt Carr, and he began telling me about the investigation. We were able to bring the FBI up to Jackson and began working collaboratively from there. We were told that the last known location for Gabby was around Jackson, Wyoming. The family had said that they were heading somewhere probably in the Teton or Yellowstone National Park areas. So we're looking at a search area of about 20,000 square miles. Obviously, we need to narrow that down quite a bit. We're working with multiple agencies, trying to get more data. We're able to acquire information from Gabby's cell phone to help us determine the last general area where she used her phone. It showed that Gabby had been up towards the Spread Creek camping area in the Bridger Teton National Forest. So we're able to work with the Teton County Search and Rescue. The terrain around the Spread Creek area is very rugged. One side of the creek is a big plains with a lot of bush, but no roads or trails. On the camping side, it's very heavily wooded and mountainous, and there's some steep canyons.
We had folks on foot, we had folks on side-by-sides, we had horse teams out there, we had drones flying. We were using every bit of technology that we could to throw into the search area. But there was a lot of pieces of the puzzle that had to be put together. So we worked very closely with both the agencies up in New York and down in Florida.
Alexa, lower the TV volume to 10.
Okay.
Okay, so they're finally actually looking for her now, but like I said, she's already gone. But while all of this search is going on, she's already gone. While all of this is going on, also Brian is I think he went to another park, and that's where he ended his life eventually. But right now, while all the search is going on, she was already a deceased person. This is terrible, bro. It's so hard to watch and imagine what happened. Alexa, raise the TV volume to 70. Alexa, raise the TV volume to 70.
Answers is what's important to me. What people don't understand, especially for federal investigation.
we could to throw into the search area. But there was a lot of pieces of the puzzle that had to be put together. We worked very closely with both the agencies up in New York and down in Florida.
I don't take my position as law enforcement for granted. Some of these stories are difficult, but getting closure for the family, getting answers is what's important to me. What people don't understand, especially for federal investigations, we need all of our facts, and we need to be able to support whatever we're about to allege. In the beginning of this investigation, we were still developing those facts. We had surveillance on the Laundrie's residence.
There was a camera in their backyard and down the street. Did we rely on those? Certainly, but the fact that there were a ton of people in the way didn't help.
Yeah, people are already outside of
protesters
right outside
descended
of
on the
his
Florida
house.
neighborhood where Brian Laundrie's parents reside today.
People are outside of their house
Very
protesting.
chaotic scene out there.
People all over the country are anxious to learn any details they can about Petito's whereabouts.
I just hope that somebody would do the same for me.
Brian's parents were not cooperative in the search for Gabby. So at the time, the Laundries just carried on with their regular everyday life. In fact, when Brian first came home with the band, him, his parents, and his sister Cassie went on a camping trip at Fort DeSoto. This raised a lot of questions and speculations naturally about what the Laundrie family knew.
Cooperated with the police since September 11th when they called.
You guys do on the 6th.
Bullshit.
At Fort DeSoto.
We were at Fort DeSoto on the 6th. We got there at around 2 o'clock and we left around 8 because the kids had school the next day.
On the 6th?
On the 6th. We only stayed for about 6 hours.
Who was there?
My mom, my dad, my brother.
Did Brian say anything about Gabby?
There. Nothing came up. We are just as upset, frustrated, and heartbroken as everybody else. And I am losing my parents and my brother and my children's aunt and my future sister-in-law on top of this. And you're not helping.
Why your parents? Why your parents? You're talking about Christmas.
They're not talking to us either.
Why aren't they talking to you guys?
If I knew, I would say. I don't know.
Do you think they're involved, your parents?
I don't know.
You don't know.
We know.
You're not involved?
We've literally been finding everything out with the news like everybody else.
Thank you, Cassie, for your time.
We appreciate
You have a good day.
Yep, thank you.
Developing tonight in Utah, a new glimpse of 22-year-old Gabby Petito and her boyfriend, Brian Laundrie. Now there's body cam video that shows the moments after police were called.
That video is out. Here it is.
What's going on outside?
The Moab video comes out and brings Brian and Gabby to life.
Yeah, I don't know. It's something. I really bad OCD.
Once the video was released on the news, I saw it with the rest of the world. I watched my daughter looking frightened to death. That's when I realized that things were way worse than I could have imagined.
Did you get hit in the face? Kind of looks like something like hit you in the face. And then over on your arm, shoulder, right there. That's new, huh? Is that a new mark?
Okay, I don't know.
It breaks my heart to see her in such distress. We didn't get all of the facts that day.
We got a call about a male hitting a female and the two of them getting in this vehicle and taking off.
I didn't know that there was a phone call to 911 saying that some guy was slapping his girlfriend.
What were they doing? We drove by the gentleman was slapping the girl. He was slapping her?
Had never seen Gabby that distraught before.
She never told me about their fight in Moab, but I've seen her that upset before because of him.
I'm fine. I look at it. I hope she doesn't have to make complaints to you.
To see the distress my daughter was in and then laughing and joking around.
You know, she got it. It's crazy.
So I just got a phone with one of the two witnesses asking if she was the primary aggressor.
I could not believe
Oh my God.
that she was
Oh
being
my God.
treated as an
aggressor. It's just chilling to watch that.
When I saw that body cam footage, I knew that something wasn't right.
Why the hell were they questioning her?
You expect that they're going to be there to help, that they're going to be there to try to figure this
No,
situation
they got him a room, and she ended up being on the bed by herself
The right thing was not done.
and back with him.
He told the cops he had no money for a hotel, so they sent him to one that was a domestic violence survivor hotel. The world got to see the dark side, the reality of her life, and what comes behind those closed doors.
That looks terrible. Oh my god. These people, bro.
Yeah, hello. Yes, it is. It's Officer Lau with the police department. How are you? Okay, I'm fine, thank you.
Why is his name redacted? Why is everything redacted?
That guy's very well. He might even be OP'd at his house. Can you do a welfare check on that guy? If I think he's in trouble at the house,
Like,
On September 17th, we got a tip from a caller that something was going on inside of the laundry residence. We went to the house to investigate. That's when the laundry informed us that Brian's not in the house. They wanted to report Brian missing, and they hadn't seen him for days.
So the Laundry family asked police to come to the home?
That is accurate. They are now claiming that they have not seen their son since Tuesday.
yeah, he already went off and ended his life
He's been missing for
afterwards.
days. What the fuck is going on? My thoughts are like, do the parents have something to do with it?
How the hell did the FBI and the Northport police let this kid slip out of the house?
We were shocked.
I want to bring in Gabby's stepfather to see what the family makes of the new developments.
And Jim found out that Brian was missing while on the air.
The family says they haven't seen Brian since Tuesday.
I was thrown onto the screen to do an interview. Felt like a deer in headlights. Yeah, it's the first time we're hearing it. I don't think I even had a moment to fully digest it yet. Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, Brian's gone. We now have 2 people missing. We searched Brian's house and collected potential evidence. Among his belongings, there was a note that Brian's mother had written to Brian, and it was titled Burn After Reading. You're my boy. Nothing can make me stop loving you. Nothing will or could ever divide us, no matter what we do. If you're in jail, I will bake a cake with a file in it. If you need to dispose of a body, I will show up with a shovel and garbage bags.
Yo, his mom is bro. Basically, she wrote a letter to him. She supports him.
This breaking news just moments ago, authorities say Brian is also missing.
Dozens of protesters descended on the Florida neighborhood where Brian Laundrie's parents reside today.
Saying they're not going to leave until we get answers.
A tremendous twist in this case. We now have 2 missing young people.
My first reaction when I saw that Brian was missing was like, no, he's not. He's running.
Nobody knows where he is. Not police, not FBI. His parents say they don't know either.
Experts have been asking, is this someone who seems like they would take their own life, or is this more like somebody who will take off?
I mean, Gabby was still missing. And the one person that was with her now is gone.
It's turning from Gabby to Brian. And I was still thinking, I haven't found my daughter yet. I need to find my child.
The media shifted their attention to Brian missing. But at this point in the investigation, we needed a body to prove a crime. We could not arrest Brian. Our sole focus became finding Gabby.
Still no word from authorities about her whereabouts.
Authorities are asking anyone who saw the couple to contact the FBI.
We asked for the public's help, and they more than responded. We began receiving around 200 to 300 tips per day throughout the whole country.
Today, someone posted that they found a picture of Gabby
Yeah.
in the background.
This happened big
of
time.
another
Oh my god, I'm
person's
getting
live
so many
photo.
chills watching this show. I gotta tell you, I'm getting so many chills watching this show. Like, I mean, this is episode 3, Burn After Reading, which is titled after the letter that Brian's mom left him, where she wrote that she would help him get out of jail and she would help him hide a body. Totally normal. Something your mom writes you any day of the week, anytime. Totally normal shit. Like, don't worry about that. Totally fine. Like, but at this point, September 17, September 18, September 19, people are sending in tips to the FBI, and the FBI is involved, the New York police is involved, Florida police is involved, and Gabby's family and whatnot. At this point, Brian's already missing. He's already gone. And it might show the clip where her van is found, and then eventually that clip helps him find her weeks later. This is sad. Yeah, me too. Like, I hope so too. I'm getting some crazy chills. I'm getting some crazy chills watching this. This is the last episode. Don't worry, I'll do my prayers, whatnot. But this is hard to watch. I'll tell you that. I'm
I was
getting
just
crazy
scrolling through my
chills.
phone, and there was a TikTok post from a girl named Miranda.
Hi, my name is Miranda Baker, and on August 29th, my boyfriend and I picked up Brian at Grand Teton National Park. I'm hoping this can help someone identify him because I saw him from TikTok.
I was thinking to myself, that sounds like the person that I picked up. So
People are getting
immediately,
together.
I called the Teton County Sheriff.
The last known location of the van was a critical piece of the puzzle for us narrowing down our search area.
I feel like it was like the second week of September is when we started really hearing something about Gabby.
When you hear a nomad go missing, it spreads pretty quickly in the community. Social media, it was everywhere.
And we were paying attention to the timeline. So the FBI was estimating the 21st through the 24th, and so we weren't even there at that time.
On August 27th, we were just looking for a place to stay over the night. Our friends said, Spread Creek, go check it out.
We came, we slept, and then we went on our way. I was editing our YouTube video from the Spread Creek timeline of August 27th. And I was sitting next to my phone, and I got this notification from one of our RV friends, and they said, Red, White, and Bethune, check any footage you have. The timeline has changed. I read the National Park Service post, and it said August 27th or 28th, all the color and blood and life drained from my body because I was like, I haven't.
Okay. So this is actually the moment. This is the clip that I've been talking about. That these people, these nomads, these folks. Sorry about that. I'm a little bit moved. I'm a highly sensitive person, so I'm feeling like all kinds of stuff while I'm watching this documentary about her. So I'm sorry about like my language. It's mostly because of the anxiety that comes with feeling stuff and seeing things as I watch this. So I'm sorry for that. I want to put the disclaimer out there. But these folks, they are going to release the clip of them driving past the van when they went to stay at the park. So at this point, whenever the authorities get this clip, they go there, and then that's when they find her weeks later. And this is very important, by the way, because a lot of other, like I said, a lot of other missing people were found, and she was found, and then eventually they found Brian's remains on a different park. But this like the internet and social media, like if we didn't have this, we would have like never found her or anything. Like that's the positive thing about videos and stuff, honestly. And there's that video, and the band, I know that it, because I've watched that video so many times.
I said, we're posting this. By the time we woke up the next day, it was up over around 1 million views.
I almost jumped out of my seat. There's the van. They got it.
I was at the forward command post when we received the Bethune video, and it did appear to be the Spread Creek area. Once I got to the spot where their van had been parked, I was able to look at the video and see that the trees lined up and the marks on the ground where the camp van had been lined up. This allowed us to corroborate the information that we already had from the phone companies to give us a much better search area.
On the
20
second day of our
days
search,
since last video.
basically
Yeah.
on the river bottom near the area where
20
we were
days,
last
Jesus
camping.
Christ.
Horseback is a really good way to search wilderness areas. So we had a horse team that was working their way up Spread Creek, as well as our team on foot. All of a sudden, one of the team members saw what they believed was a body of an individual.
She was laying on her side. She was wrapped up in a sweater. The last time we had confirmation that Gabby was alive was on August 27th. We didn't find her until September 19th. So between that time frame, we believe she had been in that same position. In front of her was a burn scar on the ground, and somebody had tried to light a small fire, but we didn't find any fire starting materials. Her boots were off, and they were next to her body and next to that fire. She was not laying in a natural position, and it appeared to the investigators at that time that the crime scene had been staged. We had instituted a no-fly zone over the national park. However, there were still news organizations that were sending helicopters towards our search area. We need to very quickly protect the crime scene, as well as Gabby's dignity. Later on, the court ruled that Gabby's death was a homicide as a result of blunt force trauma and manual strangulation.
That's what I saw. He choked her. Horrifying.
It was just a lot of mixed emotions.
This is hard.
I think we were all hoping for a different outcome.
You guys are 27 days late. Or 20 days
The
late.
supervisor went immediately to inform the family so that they would hear from us and not from the national media.
Imagine her remains there for that long.
And they told us
In the middle
that,
of nowhere.
That remains consistent with our daughter Gabby. And I said, "Are you sure? You have to be sure because I have to make this call." He said, "I'm going to show you this. And I don't want to, but there's some stuff on here maybe you can identify." It was Gabby. Laying on the ground, on her left side in a fetal position. Just her hair coming out of her hood that was over her head. Just like laying there in the ground for weeks. In the wild. Just left there like she was a piece of trash by somebody who was supposed to love her. And I collapsed to the ground. And I had to pick up the phone, compose myself, and call Nikki and get Joe on the phone and Tara in a conference call and tell them from 2,000 miles away that our daughter was dead.
Oh my god, this has to be repeated. This is hard.
Told us that that remains consistent with our daughter death. And I said, "Are you sure? You have to be sure because I have to make this call." He said, "I'm going to show you this. And I don't want to, but there's some stuff on here maybe you can identify." It was Gabby. Laying on the ground on her left side in a fetal position. Just her hair coming out of her hood that was over her head. Just like laying there in the ground for weeks in the wild. Just left there like she was a piece of trash by somebody who was supposed to love her. And I collapsed to the ground. And I had to pick up the phone, compose myself, and call Nikki and get Joe on the phone and Tara in a conference call and tell them from 2,000 miles away that our daughter was dead. It was the worst phone call I've ever made in my life.
I remember on September 19th that I got a phone call that I'd never see my daughter again.
I don't remember anything. It's the worst day of our life.
Think about the last moments a lot. I'm sure she was scared. And anytime she was scared, she would call me or Jim, you or Nikki. So, I don't know who she called out for.
I opened the back sliding door because the kids were sitting outside during the phone call, and I said, "Everybody come inside," because I wanted to be the one to tell my kids.
It was the worst feeling I ever felt. I definitely broke down, really hard. I don't honestly even know if it's still, fully hit me.
That was the first time I saw the girls break down. They knew their sister was never home.
I got a text message from a reporter. He said, "Did you see the news?" My heart sunk. And he said, "They found a body." And that was the first time in my life that I could say I was truly speechless. I've never felt something like that before. I think the worst thing is it's not even a loss. It's someone being taken. Somebody else decided that they had the right to take somebody you love out of your life forever.
Breaking news tonight on the disappearance of Gabby Petito after
I was watching a news broadcast and they had a breaking news story that they had found her body. I was devastated. She was my first love.
Yeah, you didn't pick up her phone call. Would she call you probably the night before she freaking died?
I found her body.
God.
Just didn't know what to think of it. I just wanted to shut it off or wake up. Think it was, a bad dream or something.
People, man.
Once we found Gabby, that really just expanded the investigation. We now have to start shifting our focus to who is the suspect and how do we start building this evidence so we can prosecute this case down the road.
August 27th. That's the guy you see me like.
On August 27th, around 1 o'clock, Brian and Gabby were at a restaurant in Jackson called Mary Piglet's.
Okay, they have more information now.
The female said she witnessed Gabby and
Yeah.
Brian having some sort of an argument.
Because she got sick with the food.
Brian was
We talked about this earlier.
pissed off, I would say he was angry. They got up very abruptly and just like, walked out the restaurant. Gabby was really upset. She was crying.
They did a drama of it.
On the 27th, I think back on the fact that maybe if I did answer that phone call, I could have helped.
Oh, you think so? You think so?
After that, they went to the Whole Foods where they were seen on camera. Once they leave the Whole Foods, they begin to drive up to the Spread Creek area from Jackson.
6 p.m. Yeah, that's where it all happened that night. There was a bit of a fire. There was a fire pit. Fighting and he strangled her.
As we passed by the van, it just looked super dark, really closed up, and I think just assumed they were out hiking or taking advantage of the outdoors.
Around 7:15, she sends the last text message to her mother, speaking about how she could make more money as a solo female van lifer. We're able to look back and look at her usage of her computer. Around 8:30, she was moving computer files around on her hard drive. So we believe she was alive during that time because the files were video files, and this was consistent with the patterns she had done prior by the next day. We have no information indicating that Gabby is still alive. We're able to look back and look at all of her devices, like the phone and her computer, and at that point, there was no more movement. The investigation found that Brian killed Gabby and moved her body to where it was found.
August 28th.
On the 28th, Brian had left from the Spread Creek area and had hiked up north towards the Coulter Bay camping area. Along the way, he was taking photos. Some of them were scenic, but he was also taking a lot of pictures of bones of animals that were deceased. On the 29th, there was cell phone tower data that showed at 1:20 he calls his mom Roberta and has about a 55-minute call.
Probably telling her everything he did.
And contact an attorney.
Yeah. Like that's right
Having
there.
Calls back and forth with each other.
That's literally right there when he calls his parents and tells them what he did. And the next, like an hour later, they're getting a lawyer.
Until about 3:30 in the afternoon. Information from the phone companies show that as Brian is hiking, text messages are being sent to Gabby's phone, which was back at the Spread Creek area.
Hi, my name is Miranda Baker, and on August 29th, my boyfriend and I picked up Brian at Grand Teton National Park.
5:55 on the 29th, Brian was picked up by Miranda Baker, and they began giving him a ride south towards Jackson. At around 6:30 or 6:45, Brian was picked up by Norma Jean, and she gave him a ride to the entrance to the Spread Creek camping area, where he had left the van. Text messages to Gabby's phone are
Took
not
her really
read
far away.
until Brian gets back to the Spread Creek area where Gabby's phone was left.
So, oh my god. 5:55, that's terrible. From there, he takes her all the way over there. 2 people pick him up. He goes back, takes the band, takes him to his parents' house like nothing. Probably because they told him to come with the band and whatnot.
5:55 on the 29th, Brian was picked up by Miranda Baker, and they began giving him a ride south towards Jackson. At around 6:30 or 6:45, Brian was picked up by Norma Jean, and she gave him a ride to the entrance to the Spread Creek camping area. Text messages to Gabby's phone are in the Creek area where Gabby's phone was left.
Activity between the two phones was almost instant.
God, this guy is so messed up. He was texting her phone and replying, and then from her phone texting his phone and replying. That's all I have to say about it.
Yes, Brian was holding both phones and talking directly to himself. It was apparent that he was trying to create an alibi.
On August 30th, Brian departed from Wyoming to travel back to Florida.
There's footage of the van.
A text message is sent from Gabby's phone to her mother's phone, requesting that the mom speak to the grandpa because the grandpa had been contacting Gabby. He stops at multiple gas stations, food, credit card records. We know that he uses Gabby's debit card to pay for gas. Also on the trip.
Oh my god. He's using her cards to pay for everything as he runs away with the van after killing her. This reminds me of that case of Takesha Williams, I forgot her name, in Mexico, killed by her so-called friends that did a Cash App transaction and used the money to get back. Her money to get back. He's using Gabby's credit cards to get back. Like this reminded me of that right away because I watched that case too. Like they will do that.
There's a Zelle transaction from Gabby to Brian.
Oh my god, $700?
That says, "Goodbye, Brian. We'll never ask you for anything again." And transfer $700 from Gabby's account to Brian's account. And we know Gabby was deceased, and this was Brian using multiple devices to send this to himself.
He sent himself money from her
What
account.
this did is it goes from him being a missing person to now making him a federal fugitive.
The fact that he's still talking to himself.
A federal arrest warrant was issued for Brian.
Breaking news, authorities just issued an arrest warrant for Brian Laundrie.
The FBI is asking the public for help in finding him.
We had over 4,000 tips generated just to the FBI alone.
Someone just showed me this on YouTube. A person ducking up and down on this video.
And a lot of people are saying that it looks very similar to Brian Laundrie.
The lady who took this photo said he ran to the woods as a police car drove by. A possible sighting of Brian Laundrie in Ocala, Florida.
Dog the Bounty Hunter joined this search for Brian Laundrie.
I know the kid knows me. Probably one of my fans. We get a scent of a trail. We get a scent, he's done.
In order to find out what happened next, we need to retrace Brian's steps. On the morning of September 14th, 3 days before Brian's parents reported him missing to the cops, we learned that somebody had left their car in the park for a substantial amount of time. They reported that to the Northport Police Department. They ran the plates and it turned out it was the Laundrie's car. After learning about the car being ticketed, the Laundries picked up the car from the park and drove it back home. They informed law enforcement that the park where the vehicle was found was one of Brian's favorite places to go hiking. We learned that Brian told the Laundries that he was going for a hike to relieve some steam from the pressure of the people in the crowd that had collected outside of the Laundrie's house. He had taken a backpack full of hiking equipment, a tent, food. They believed he was going to return. I mean, it wasn't uncommon for Brian to go hike and stay out in the woods for a couple days. It was for this reason that the laundries did not contact police about the car, because they were holding out that he would return home.
And police are now admitting they lost track of Brian Laundrie after they confused him for his mother.
Most banks offer 0.5, maybe 1% return on their savings accounts. If you're lucky, they might even give you something a little higher, but that's only if you're lucky. For you chose a bank that actually...
At this point, this is episode 3 of Burn After. I think it's Burn After Reading. It's titled after the note that Brian's mom left him. They're looking for Brian because he's already gone missing. They already found Gabby. It's awful. He's texting himself with her phone and replying and sending money from Sal to himself from her account, and using her credit card to get around. Waiting for the ads to
A
stop.
high-yield savings account should yield you high returns. We're talking 4.75% APY.
It reminds me of I'm telling you, it reminds me of that case, that girl that got murdered in, I think it was in Mexico, and her friends used her money to come back and left her there, and they still not stole until this day because of the jurisdictions.
Search for Brian in the park where the Mustang.
Then there's video of them beating her up.
It was not an easy search. The Myakkahatchee and the Carlton Reserve essentially create one giant park. It's approximately 40 square miles, so over 20,000 acres. We collaborated with our state and local partners. We had volunteer agencies out there. Everybody wanted to be a part of this search. We had drones trying to locate just any activity that we could see. Maybe some wrappers on the ground, maybe a heat signature. We had dogs that were picking up some scents, but they were being attacked by alligators. We also had weeks of rain, so the park had completely flooded out, and the areas to be searched were literally waist deep or up to your chest. We had people walking through that for weeks trying to locate Brian.
October 20th. 37 days where he's missing.
October 20th, the park managers opened the park to the public. It had been closed because of the flooding. We were informed that the laundries were going to go to the park as soon as it opened to try to locate Brian. Law enforcement also went out there.
Oh, they're following them. Interesting.
The laundries began their search approximately at 7 a.m. in the morning. They knew where their son liked to hike. They knew where he liked to camp out there. There was so much tension in the air. They did not emote. About an hour into the laundry search, Chris Laundrie found the waterproof bag that belonged to Brian.
Wow.
45 minutes after that, Brian's remains were located.
Wow.
It was approximately a mile from where he had parked his car.
You guys couldn't find him, but the parents
His
did.
belongings were still there. His clothes were still there. His shoes were still there. But he had completely decomposed all the way down to the bone. The autopsy report later determined that the cause of death was suicide by a gunshot wound to the head.
His parents found his remains. That blew my mind. I didn't even believe it. I thought it was like fake news. I was like, what do you mean? This makes no sense. I was pissed off, to be honest. I just wanted answers. And when we found his remains, their answers went out the door.
Get off my face. Get the fuck off
I
my
know you have a
face.
lot of questions, but we don't have all the answers yet.
God.
We are working diligently to get those answers for you.
Inside the waterproof bag were pictures of Brian and Gabby. There was also a waterproof notebook that Brian had written in. He wrote multiple letters to his family, mostly to say that he loved them and to say goodbye to them. There was a story in there leading up to what happened to Gabby.
Oh my god. Oh, carrying her. Damn piece of living. Oh my god.
Not one of the versions of Brian's account was accurate by the findings of Gabby's autopsy. The sole cause of her death was strangulation, and nothing remotely or even close to what he said.
He lied about how she died.
Brian wrote in his letter expressing wanting to come to New York, come to Long Island to confront me and to confess what he did so that we could take care of him.
I always found it odd that he wrote in there, leave my parents out of this. They didn't do anything wrong.
I think the burn after reading letter from Roberta is disgusting. I personally love my mother, but I'd be very concerned if she sent me a letter like that.
Yeah, no.
The first time we saw that letter, we were just so in shock and angry that how could she write this letter? It's just disgusting.
Made me sick to my stomach.
You told him, I'll bring you a shovel to help bury the body? Wow.
Yeah.
We still don't know the extent of Brian's parents' involvement. But what we do know is that on August 29th, Brian made a flurry of calls to his parents. They contacted each other multiple times. We learned that he told them Gabby was gone and that he needed a lawyer.
We found out Brian made a frantic phone call to his parents that Gabby is gone and he needs help.
At which point his parents wired money to a lawyer.
They contacted their attorney and wrote him a big check and said that they didn't know anything other than she was gone.
Well, we don't know anything. You're gonna throw $25,000 of your hard-earned cash out on a lawyer from fucking Wyoming? And you're telling me you didn't ask where she was? That's some bullshit. I'll tell you that right now.
I don't think the amount of money they pay their attorney would be for anything less than to represent somebody for murder. We knew at that point we weren't ever going to get remotely close to the answers that we were hoping for. because the only two people that truly knew what happened are now both gone.
You don't have to see this girl.
My image of Brian has completely shattered.
Oh my god, I feel sorry for you.
It's something awful. There's no taking it back. I was Brian's friend, but I was also very close with Gabby. I think about her family nonstop.
You grieve every day. You can smile.
I'm sorry, I don't feel bad for her.
It never goes away.
Yeah. I'm sorry about Gabby's stepdad mourned her more than her own dad. I just want to put that out there. From watching him, like, because it looks like he divorced her mom very young, so her stepdad pretty much raised her. Like the stepdad, when he was talking about when he got the news and the call, that dude was destroyed. And this documentary was just made, so years later they went and got them for this documentary, and he's still crying just the same way. So, and they're showing the dad how he reacted. He's just sitting there like, "Oh yeah, this was so hard for me." Like, but they're showing the stepdad, and the stepdad is like, you know, it's just no.
We decided as a family that we all wanted to go visit the spot where Gabby was found.
Wow.
We wanted to take Gabby's siblings.
You could have done that when she reached out for help.
And Rose. As soon as I landed, the only words coming out of my mouth was, "Oh my gosh," because of how beautiful it was.
Spread Creek. Beautiful day here. We're gonna make our way over to the spot.
Once we got to where Gabby was, you could feel her presence and her spirit there. It was just such a beautiful moment.
They found her too late.
Ashes. The kids all kind of walked around and found different areas to throw Gabby's ashes.
Gabby's younger sister and I did ours together. And it was so hard. But it was so exactly what Gabby would want.
It was just really healing to be with everybody, and we truly felt close to Gabby that day. I have a photograph, a huge orb in the middle. I don't know if people believe in that, but there's an orb there, and I know that Gabby was there with us.
Although we lost Gabby, many other people have been saved because of her.
We get messages saying, "Hey, Gabby's story is what made me leave my boyfriend. I got help and I'm doing what I can." And it is beautiful and heartwarming.
We started the Gabby Petito Foundation. So we wanted to bring attention to the dangers and signs of domestic violence,
Narcissistic abuse,
prevention. That they're looking for help and they say, "All right, I'm going to go to the Gabby Petito website, the foundation page. What do I do? I need help." And there is a literal help button on that page. You can click on it and it will guide you to the right resources.
This story is unique, but I will tell you that there are so many other people out there missing, and they are important too. So my work is important. Victims' lives are important.
I have spoke with many families who are still looking for their missing loved ones, and that is heartbreaking.
Petito's story has renewed debate about which cases get attention and the media's seeming infatuation with missing white women.
Imagine the men, women, and children in the community where Gabby Petito went missing, who know that for the last 10 years, more than 700 Indigenous people have gone missing, and nobody has said a word. And one missing white woman turns up in their backyard, and the world pays attention.
Well, there's the internet, though.
My initial reaction wasn't
It's just the internet.
Saying Gabby's color was the reason, I was taken back by that.
This isn't saying that Gabby Petito is not important. What it is saying is that there's an overrepresentation in media when white women go missing, and an underrepresentation in media when Black, brown, and Indigenous women go missing.
And then I started to look into it.
The FBI had over 89,000 active missing person cases at the end of last year, and 45% of those were people of color, and only a fraction of those cases were even covered on the news.
The media is very powerful. When everybody knows their face, it makes a real difference.
The domestic violence bill is sailing through the Capitol with huge support, including the backing of Gabby Petito's parents.
You should not fear the ones you love.
Petito's parents on Utah's Capitol Hill, speaking out in favor of Senate Bill 117, a bill that would require police to ask 11 questions to determine if an intimate partner is at risk of being hurt or killed.
This lethality assessment, which I've immersed myself in over the last couple of weeks, had been used. And I know in Gabby's case, if it had been used, I believe she would still be here today.
It's so hard for us to realize that Gabby's gone, that she's not with us. But I could only hope that we made her proud and she's looking down on us and saying, thank you for being my voice when I couldn't speak anymore.
Every time I get upset about missing her, I hear her voice in my head say, "Mom, I'm fine, stop." Like, she just wants me to just have fun and live life. And it's a really important message.
Right before I met Gabby, I was in an abusive relationship. Gabby was the one that convinced me I deserved more. I'm choosing to live my life because it's what Gabby would want me to do. I think I'm doing good. I think she'd be proud.
Gabby really loved life. Biggest, fearless life you could live. And I was so proud of her. She's inspired us to be better every day.
First of opening video for what it was to us. Honestly, this is just not a domestic violence case. It is narcissistic abuse, which doesn't get discussed enough. It's hard to watch. That's awful. I'm probably gonna make a video with my phone about it in a minute. Probably 10 minutes. Thanks for watching. If you go on Netflix and you watch the show, or if you find a way to watch it online somehow, I hope you guys like it too. It's pretty deep. I like this documentary. They're really good at making documentaries on Netflix. This is so hard. I'm gonna be back soon on my phone.